It's Wednesday, guys. Hope you guys are having a great week. I just pounded on the table, didn't I? Sorry.
It's not so bad out here.
I'm trying to have energy. So, here's what we got. It is time to move on with the carving on this sign. So, here's my goal today. I'm going to carve all of this black away. Now, normally I would use, for that background, I normally would use a 90 degree, but because there's some really tight spots and little places, I'm going to go ahead and use my rigid router, which is the one that I always have set up for my 60 degree. It still cuts a nice V groove, but it doesn't cut as wide, so there's not much chance, or not as much chance of hitting the edge. So that's what I'm going to do right now, is just get that black all taken out of there. Then we're going to move on to the next step. So let's get her going. Huh?
Cheaters.
Yep. Got to put the cheaters on. Take off the hat. Let's see here. Is that right? Does that work for you? Okay.
Where are you starting?
Right over here. That. Okay, so let me explain something to you guys. In case you guys hadn't seen me do this before. That was good. Use your words. Okay, so let's say over in this area right here, especially these little thin spots, you'll notice that what I was doing with my router is, again, if I'd been using my 90, I wouldn't have had near as much space in there. So you'll notice if you go back and watch, I was lifting up one side of the router and just dabbing it in there. I still want that texture down in there as much as I can get. So there are times, not all the time, but there are times if it's a real skinny spot that I will actually lift up part of the router, and I might do it on, I'm a little more comfortable with leaving my right hand down because I'm right-handed, and lifting with my left hand and just kind of doing almost what I call the dimple effect, and just lifting it up and down, up and down. So if you go back and watch that, you'll see that. Now in bigger spots like down here and over here, not so much. I was leaving it pretty much flat the whole time. Anyway guys, all right, so what we're gonna do now, I'm gonna brush that all real well. You'll notice how it bunches up again down here at the place where that big knot is. I love the looks of that knot. Kind of looks almost like a solar system or something, the way it's. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to brush this really good. I'm going to blow it out, get all of that sawdust out of there, and then we're going to come back and start doing some coloring. Okay, guys, I want to go over something. We're masking off this. Vicky actually did all this masking. We're going to do a little bit more here. I'm just not sure because this is the first time we've used this beetle kill pine, whether it has a tendency to bleed because I don't have any sanding sealer on this. But here's what I really want to show you. I got some of this Star Bond the other day, and I ordered on Amazon, and man, this stuff is so cool. This is the thick. They make different viscosities, but this is the thick. So what I'm finding is I'm having little tiny holes in here that are kind of either I missed them before or whatever. And when I spray my black, I definitely do not want black down in there. So here's what I'm doing. I'm actually just taking these, and again, I'm not sure. You can probably kind of see that stuff working its way down. But they've got these really tiny little thin things. They come down to a tiny point for filling in little holes. I'll tell you what, man, I am super impressed with this Star Bond adhesive. I actually follow them on Instagram. They're not a sponsor. You guys know I don't really do sponsors. I just really like this product. And then here's the accelerator.
Oh, show that again.
Yeah, no, I'll show it when you come back up. And so within seconds, all that stuff will be dry. Then when I go to sand it off, that will just sand down flat. So this CA glue, this, babe, if you want to come up to me now. So this, I think I've got a thin and I've got a thick. But what I got, and again, I'm just super impressed with this stuff. I bought a whole bottle of the accelerator and a big bottle of the thick, because I use it.
Back just a little.
I use it mostly as. Oops! I hope I didn't just glue my
glue your arms.
I want to wipe that off after you're done. Anyway, I use it mostly as filler, kind of like the resin. So a lot of this fill in these little nooks and crannies, or I call them crooks and nannies, on purpose. Anyway,
Move that bubble up from in front of your face.
I use as a filler, so I like the thick, even though the thin is great too, and I use that sometimes when gluing the live edge back on. If the bark comes off, I use the thin for gluing that stuff. But it comes with like extra bottles and extra nozzles and a whole bag of these little, because I think these are like single use, so a whole bag of these little things, and it comes as like a kit. Man, if you, I'm telling you what,
And how much was the kit?
I think it was $60-something. Again, we're not sponsors. This isn't, we do have them in our Amazon store. If you guys want to buy them through our Amazon store, we'll get a little kickback. But, this is an unsolicited little advertisement. But, man, I am super impressed with this stuff. It makes my life so much easier to do fills with the CA glue on these little dots rather than having to mask them off and then worry about them. Anyway, I dig this stuff. The more I use it, the more I love it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to fill up, see if I can find any more little pinholes, and then mask off, and then we're going to get into spraying what needs to be black. So we'll be back in a second. That almost rhymes.
Yeah.
We'll be back. Well, folks, we forgot to turn the microphone on, so I'm having to do a voiceover on this little section. Fortunately, it's just this section. So what I'm talking about here is the fact that because this blue pine or beetle kill pine, I'm really not used to, I don't want to spray anything that I really don't have to because I don't have any sanding sealer. And you guys know I use sanding sealer on pine. But I didn't put any on here. Right there, I was just picking off
a little high spot, and that's the danger when using the 60-degree bit for background, is that you're going to have a lot more high spots, so your circular motion has to be much tighter and much smaller. So I was just getting a little piece that I missed. So I'm using the primer here, spraying very lightly because I don't want to take a chance on bleeding on this sign. So you're probably wondering why I'm spraying right over that boom layout. I'm going to do that a completely different type of process, so you'll see that soon coming up. But also I've masked off those inset letters there, and I'll be coloring those very soon as well. So when I'm spraying this, I'm making very sure not to overspray. The other thing is that I want to spray from both the top and the bottom just to see if, make sure I don't miss any spots, but again being very light touch with that spray can. And I'm using the primer, but I could have just as easily used the ink on this. Anyway guys, sorry about this voiceover, but I hope it comes out. Thanks.
All right, let's sand it off. See what she looks like. So that was my rough belt, my 40 grit. Now I'm going to go with my 120. Turn it around. Now this is going to look a little goofy, guys, because I'm doing something totally different on the boom. So it's going to look incomplete, which it is incomplete.
You want to lift it a little?
Yep. Here we go. So again, it looks a little,
Hold it up a little bit more.
It looks incomplete because we got a lot of color that's going to go on here. A lot of red and some yellow and some orange, and then I'm going to do something completely different on the boom part of it. So this is all going. These are going to be blue. That's going to be red. So stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, folks, that is it for today. So I hope you enjoyed what we did here. I know it's kind of incomplete, but on Friday we'll get all of the rest of the carving done. We'll get some coloring done. I'm hoping we can wrap it up as far as the carving and the color on Friday. So, in case you guys haven't met my grandson, this is Jax, right?
Hi.
Say hi. How old are you today?
8.
8
Today's
years
his
old.
birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, wait. We also
And
have another guest.
Mag came to say hi too. Say hi,
Meg
Mag.
wants to say happy birthday. He's going to come
Call.
over and drool all over you.
He's just about your height. So that is it, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, for watching. If you have any questions on this or anything at all, please just email me directly, eric@makeawoodsign.com. And if you would subscribe, we would love it. Just hit that little bell icon when you subscribe. If you have want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at makeawoodsign on Instagram. All the links and everything will be down below with my email and Instagram and all that stuff. Mag, I hope we're not in your way here. Yeah. That's it, guys. We'll see you on Friday and we'll get this thing wrapped up.